Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Dublin. I'm a speaking coach, a life coach, and welcome to Basement Chronicles, the Sunday interview. The last time I was here was sometime in August when I had my friend and the financial coach. She's a financial coach. She was right here on set with me. But we revert to the original format of the interview today. And I would love to bring in my guest. Her name is Janet James. Let me bring her on set. Hi, Janet. How are you? Good
I'm great, Lisa. How
afternoon.
are you?
I'm
How are
fine,
you?
thank you. Right? I was just saying, like, our colors are coordinating, aren't they? 'Cause let's show the nails. Like,
Isn't
you
it?
see, they're
We
matching.
match, we match.
My
Yes.
dress matches the nails, right?
Yes,
And my nail polish is
absolutely.
somewhere in the background. Okay. So let's get started. We spoke
Mm,
a couple of weeks ago, I believe, or months even.
yes.
I think so, eh? So tell
Yeah.
our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, Lisa, thank you. Thank you for having me on here. It's a privilege and an honor. I really appreciate it. And, to tell you a little bit about me, in one word, I'm going to
Ah,
say fun. And
oh,
fun, a lot of fun. I'm a really strong woman of faith. I truly believe in serving others, and my family is everything to me. I made a move from Winnipeg back to Edmonton because I missed my family and I needed to be here, with family and friends. And for who I am, is really about what can I do. Every morning I wake up saying, what can I do to help others?
right. Okay. All right. So that's it. So, and I have to tell our guests, our audience, that you are the auntie or the aunt. Let's
Yes,
aunt
yes. Mm-hmm.
of a guest who I had on a couple months ago, and that was
Yes.
Sharita Hope, who is a premier makeup artist right here in Edmonton. So this is her aunt, and what I love is that you all have a shared work background in Shoppers Drug Mart. Can we start there in terms of that journey into corporate?
Absolutely. So yeah, shout
Oh,
out to Sharita,
hang
of
on,
course.
we missed. Hold on, something happened right there. Hang on for me. Um, Okay. Input would be here and output would be okay. Let's go. All good?
We're good?
Yes,
Can
we're
you hear me?
good. My apologies. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so shout out to Sharita, my beautiful niece.
Oh my gosh, she is
Yeah,
beautiful. She
so
really is.
so
You know.
it's so funny that you mentioned that because cosmetics is all of us that started in, like, my sister, my younger sister, my older sister, and it's been quite a journey for me. So when I had first joined, I joined as part time in
That's a
cosmetics.
Shoppers Drug
Knew
Mart.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
Shoppers Drug
wow.
Mart, knew nothing
Mm.
about cosmetics. And I was so intrigued by it that I went to school and became an esthetician. After being an esthetician, I was able to understand, what the skin needs. How can I help people, whether it be cosmetics, makeup? I also became a makeup artist at the same
Oh,
time. So, it was a lot of information and education that was given to us to be able to move forward. And then from there, I decided I wanted to have my own business. So I became my own executive at running my own spa, Serenity Total Body Clinic in Edmonton, where I was a makeup artist, I was an esthetician, I
mhm.
was a massage therapist. So I did everything
Oh,
and
nice.
did very well in business and was able to have a team of 8 people. And from there, I went into, I saw a need to be able to help people in cosmetics in the beauty world. And I remember sending an email to shoppers saying, hey, I can help you. And
Mhm.
they didn't just hire out at the time. So I became the beauty operations specialist. And that was a huge change in my course of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to be able to help other people.
Mhm.
And from there, I went into being a district manager. So that was what, part of, doing that and being able to move forward. And, was in Edmonton. And then 5.5 years ago, I moved to Winnipeg as a senior district manager and then became, so it would have been what, 2 years ago? Yeah,
Mhm.
became the vice president of operations.
Oh wow.
And for me, that was a
Mhm.
journey in some serious hard work, but also for all women of color. also women, regardless of color, to be able to see that you can move forward and you can, if you want to do the work, you can
Mm,
get there, right? It does require work. Nothing is easy in life, as you and I both know.
absolutely.
And to be able to have the opportunity to grow within that company was phenomenal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I became stronger in leadership, coaching, being able to lift up other managers, other store owners in reaching their goal.
Mm-hmm.
Before I joined Shoppers, I was a speaker, and I was able to do that whilst I was in Shoppers. Which,
Mm.
how can you have the best of both
Amazing.
worlds? How can you like? How does that happen? So it was such an honor for me to
Yeah.
to do that and to
So
be
you
able
spoke
to.
within the company, is that it? You spoke at events with the
Yes,
company?
yes. So, well, because of the role that I was in, I got to
Yeah.
speak. We had district meetings. I got to speak at district meetings. I got to do so many other things that really propelled me in solidifying what I knew that I wanted to do. Because we
Mhm.
all struggle with what is our purpose. How are we
Yeah,
going to get there? What do we need to do? Who do we need to ask? Right. And when I became an executive of my own company, the one thing that I did was reach out and find somebody to coach me in my business.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's
being
important.
able to do that, right? Because I also believe once you're a coach yourself, you can't coach unless you've been coached.
I think so. Yeah, that's important. I'm not
Hmm.
even sure why, Janet, while you're speaking and talking about being an executive in my own company, I'm not even sure why that strikes me as very important to say, to declare, to think about. Why do you think that is? And an executive in my own company, which is what we are basically as running our own companies, but to say it that way, like, I'm not even sure, but it hits me as something important. I thought I should say it, articulate it. I'm not sure. What does it mean to you? Why are you even saying it that way?
And thanks for
Yeah.
clarifying that, Lisa, because I work with people right now that didn't even consider themselves to be an executive. Right. So I started my own business. I'm the owner of my business. Yeah, you're an executive. There's
In your
nobody
own
above you.
company.
You're it.
I hope every entrepreneur is listening to this right now. This is so important. Yeah.
It is, and I say that because I've had the privilege of coaching a small town here in Alberta and business owners, and I'm so proud of them.
Mm,
And for them to have the realization of being executives, right? They're the ones that make the choices. They're the one that make the decisions. They're the one that have the strategies. They're the ones that put things together. They're the ones that hire people, right, in their company, and then look after those people to excel. And in working with other executives, and everybody always thinks corporation means executives. No, it
right.
doesn't.
No. It does.
Right. So it also is, corporations. Yes, I've helped people in corporations, but for me, when you empower yourself by going, I am the executive
And
of this company,
right.
I'm the only one that can make it or break it.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, how do I do that? And for me, it's all about growth. All about growth. Anybody that knows me can tell you I'm always taking a course. I'm always in
Oh
school.
yeah.
I'm always doing things to level up so
Mm-hmm.
that I can help other people.
I love that. There was very early in my coaching career, and I mean very early is like nascent, perhaps babyhood, because I'm like just 5 years in. I
Yes.
remember listening to one of the coach teachers who was teaching the course that I took my certification in, and he said to the answer to the question, where do you get material to coach on, or how do you grow? And he said, you're always coaching because there's so much around you. If you are the person who's always growing and
Hmm.
always like in that self-conscious mode of who am I being in this time? Why am I being this way? You
Yep.
literally are living in breakthrough so that you can then, translate that to your own clients' breakthrough. And I thought that was at the time, oh my gosh, yeah. So it means you're always going to have material that's fresh because you're always living the coached life, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah, and you're so right. For me, it's always been, when I look back now, so let me just paint that picture for you.
Yeah.
So in March last year, I made that decision that what am I going to do next? How do I move into what Janet James wants to do.
Right.
Right. And even though in the company I was doing exactly what I wanted to do, I helped people, I, feel that I was able to express my thoughts, share my ideas, come up with new initiatives to do things.
Mhm.
However, when I look back, like I don't know if everybody does this, but I like to
Mhm.
reflect. So
Mhm.
when I look back and I reflect and I'm like, who am I? Where did I come from? And then
Right.
I look at the fact that, oh my goodness, I have
Mhm.
been coaching my whole entire life. I have
Mm.
boys, right? I used to coach basketball. I used to, until they got way bigger than I was able to help them, right? But you think of all of the lessons in life that we always have an opportunity to explore and to be
Mm.
able to look at what have you done that will align you with where you are right now.
Right.
And sometimes a lot of us miss that little nugget. It's missed because life goes on. You go through trials and errors, and I'm not scathed from having trials and errors. I've definitely gone through trials and errors. However, where I am right now, and the decision to become, a coach slash, my business name is Janet James Growth Leadership. It's
Mm.
all about growth,
Right.
right? So leading people to the next best version of themselves.
Right. I have a question for you that's actually not on our list. So
Yeah.
it's about coaching because I'm so excited to speak with coaches because
Yes.
I feel like we need those containers where you talk about the practice of coaching because
Hmm.
it's so rich, it's so interesting, and there's always something to learn. But it has to be in the right context that you speak about your
Yes.
own struggles and even your clients' struggles, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think of being able to coach on things that you yourself have not experienced? Like, what is your view on that? I found both to be true, to tell you the truth, that the things that I've been through actually helped me to be a better coach and to put what my clients come with in context. But
Hmm.
at the same time, there are those professional tools that you learn as a coach that apply across the board, no matter the situation. So, where do you stand, like, in terms of just looking at your clientele over the years? What do you think is best for somebody, even coming into the coaching business? Stick with what you know or launch out into the deep with your coaching tools?
Well, I think, for me right away, John Maxwell comes into mind because
Mm,
I am, a certified team
John.
member.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I went when I took my training last year into this year. I just graduated in March of this year, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And for me, it was everything that you think you knew
Yeah.
is no longer with you because you are now learning in a different way and being able to interact with people. So I surround myself with coaches
Yeah.
already so we can, sometimes, share ideas, but also look at how do you continue to provide value for that person that needs coaching. And when you're first starting in coaching, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I thought coaching was a totally different thing than what my life was, not
Mm.
realizing that you've already done the work all these years, and we're talking like over 30 years, right, of coaching with people. But the approach is different. And to your question about how do you say that to other coaches,
Yeah.
be mindful of that person, because it's not about us.
Yeah,
It's about that
exactly.
person that is in front of you. We have ideas, we want to fix it,
Yeah.
throw that out the window. That has nothing to do with coaching,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And for that young person that's coming to coaching, I really believe
Or
that,
new person, I should say, new person. Because
yeah,
I
for that
find like
new
even
sorry,
at,
new person,
yeah,
yes.
older people are now transitioning from maybe corporate are wanting to become coaches. I'm seeing that a lot, like popping up. And
I agree. I agree
yeah.
because I'm surrounded by, coaches that also, are brand new. And it's like, oh my God, I'm scared. What if I don't know enough? What if I'm not good enough? What if, all the what ifs?
Mm-hmm.
And to them, I say, swallow that,
Mm,
right? Believe in who you are and what value and impact you can have for other people, because
exactly.
that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if it means that you've got to study every day, study every day. If
Yeah.
it means that, you feel like, oh, I could do this if, no, 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 do it now.
Yeah.
Because every single time you have a client in front of you, it's your opportunity to speak your truth, number one. And so what I do is I always do a discovery, Lisa, with
Mhm.
all of my clients first to see if we're a fit.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if I can't help them, I'm going to say,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Mhm.
And I think, being in your truth, there is a level of professionalism and a level of truth when it comes to being a coach.
Mm.
And it means that you will sometimes say no to somebody,
Right.
and
Mhm.
that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Right. And you also will be, if you're in a position where, like I've had this before, where, you know what, I'm going to have to take this back. I'm going to
Mhm.
have to ask for some help
Mhm.
because I
Happens that
don't know
all the
everything.
time.
I do
Exactly.
not know everything. I do not know everybody. So therefore, there are times I have a coach. I have a coach that I go to and I rely on, and I can throw things off of,
Yep.
to be able to say, hey, listen, how would you handle this situation?
Mhm.
And be able to help. And I think people respect you more when you're able to be honest with them and say, I may not have all the answers right now,
Mhm.
but let me get back to you.
Mhm.
And that is well appreciated from what I've seen so far.
Absolutely. Or to say we'll pick that up next time. Let
Yes.
me figure things out. You think about it, and we'll bring it to the table next time. What I've found, what I've gotten better at, I think, over the years is like you come to coaching for results. You come, and a lot of times I've learned this from some of the coaches I follow, Claire Pedrick being one of them, as in, like, don't get into the weeds with the client, don't get into their stories, don't buy every single thing, because people hire you to help you get out of their own heads. So you can't get in there and stay there with them. No, come on out. There's a bigger version of you. Let's go find it together. And you lead them through that process of, I think, of discovering bigger versions of themselves, discovering that your world is not as really as small as you think it is. You can do this. Can you try? Okay, what are the steps to
Mm,
trying? That kind of thing. So
yes.
it's an amazing journey. And one of the things I always tell people is, how they say there's a low bar for entry in coaching, but a high bar to sustain it. As in, you have to be the person who is concerned about the practice of coaching. It's a thing. It's not just you don't just slap on a label and be like, I'm a coach because I have nothing else to do. It
That's
doesn't work
right.
that way, right?
No, it does
It's
not.
a bona
Yeah.
fide industry that helps people get through several different things, public, private, etc., to win in life. So
Yes.
that being
Yes.
said,
Yeah.
what kinds of people do you work with? And let's talk about that.
Yeah, great question. So for me right now, men, women,
Mm,
businesses, entrepreneurs, people that are stuck. And, when I say stuck, by that, what I mean is they know what they want to do, but they don't know how.
exactly.
Do they have the right steps? Are they confident enough to believe in what they're doing? Right? If one person says something negative to them, does it put them back down a couple notches? Right? So how
Right.
do you stay where you are, and how do you be able to do that? So, like I said, I mentioned earlier that I had some business owners in a small town that I'm helping,
Mhm.
and individuals. So I coach individuals
Which do you
on.
prefer, Janet? Individuals or group
You
coaching?
know what?
Yeah.
Because an
What's your favorite?
individual is also
Individual.
an individual in a business.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Yeah.
embrace it. I love it. I love when the light bulb goes off and you
Mm.
can clearly see it. And then, sometimes they'll call me and go, Janet, I just figured out what's holding me back. I'm like, wow, it's
What
such
time is
an
it you
honor,
call?
right? It doesn't matter, being able to, when I was with shoppers, it was our team, right? Coaching the team, being able to coach different people from all walks of life, even customers.
Yeah, okay.
And for me now, as I hone into, specifics, it
Mm-hmm.
is definitely, business owners and people that are transitioning,
Right.
right? They don't understand where they are and they're just a little stuck, and sometimes there's stuff in their head
Oh,
that
yeah.
they've never ever talked about, and they've sustained it, right? And there's a fine line between, what we do as a coach,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as long as it is where they are right now and identifying where the gap is, if that's
Mm-hmm.
what we can do, Lisa, we'll
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's more than that, then we will refer them to someone in a
Oh
professional
my goodness.
scale,
Okay,
right?
I'm so happy you brought that up. Have you, like, how do you know when a client needs therapy? I had this experience where someone signed up, and it was pretty early in my career. So I think I'm a little more, I know what to recognize the signs about whatever.
Yes,
But it ended up that this person didn't need coaching at that time. She actually needed therapy. And
yes.
how I knew that it was therapy was because every time we coached, she seemed to almost be broken, and she couldn't sustain anything. And after a
Mm-hmm.
while, it led to curious conversations about exactly deeply what was going all the way back to her childhood. Some stuff
Okay.
had to be fixed before anything else could be put. You know how they say coaching takes you from good to great, so
Yes.
that there has to be an element, I think, of things going a certain way that would allow you to move forward. And for some
Mm-hmm.
people, if there's something so broken, I found it very difficult for them to be able to just take coaching. They need therapy. So
Yeah.
that experience, it taught me, okay, it didn't mean that you're not a good coach. It just meant that that person needed more than you could offer. And that's okay. Every coach goes through that. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've had any experiences that are similar in terms of how to recognize when it's not a coaching client. Yeah.
Yeah, you hit a very good point there because like I said there is a line there that is sacred,
Yeah.
right? And we can only do so much when it comes to where that coaching part is. I've had one client where I just knew right away just from how she came to me and
Mm-hmm.
was broken, and I said, "You know what?
Mm.
I would love to help you once you've gotten to the place where
Yeah.
your heart and mind are connected."
Mm-hmm.
And she went on to therapy,
Yeah.
right? And is still in therapy. Will connect with me every now and then, but I will not. I tell people when I first go into my discovery meeting with my clients, number one, I am not a psychologist. Number two, I
Exactly.
am not a therapist. Right.
Exactly.
I have given them the history of what I've done,
Mm.
so they understand where I come from. Say you talk to me about sales, you talk to me about cosmetics, you talk to me about stores. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. Merchandise,
Sure.
all of those things, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if I'm able to help you, it's going to be very transparent. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be based on what your needs are. So what are your challenges? What are your objectives?
Mm-hmm.
How do you identify that? And at the end of the day, what action are you going to take? Right. So I help them do that, then
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Nothing
Exactly.
more, nothing less, but giving it everything that I can in order to be able to do that.
Okay. So I have
Mhm.
a surprise question for you.
Yeah.
What question should I ask you next?
Ooh, what question could you ask me
Good one.
next?
Yeah. What
You
question should
know,
I ask you
I
next?
think I love the question of, you asked me
Mhm.
a couple questions that you usually ask is like, what angers me? And I
Yes.
really thought about that. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
what
Wow.
angers me? So
Yes.
for me,
Mhm.
it's negative people,
Whew, let's go there. Mm.
negative. And every single thing that comes out of their mouth is negative. Now, every single one of us are responsible for choice. We
Right.
all make choices. And, for me, I've always, I flatly refuse. Like I wear the shield. Like I flatly refuse to take negative comments, negative actions into my soul. I just
Mhm.
won't do it. Right. So I have that shield because people say, you're always so positive. That's because it's a choice to be that
So
way.
okay, so let's go into the specifics of how, because I'm sure it might come around. So how do you not take it in? What are some of those strategies to help people out there?
I hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
However, I'm not taking that in.
Exactly. Right.
Right? So there's a choice. Do you want to continue on this path or do you want to change it?
Right. Do you shut them off? Do you say goodbye? Do you get away from people who are
No,
negative?
I still deal with it. still
So you just like, okay, I'm not listening right now. I don't even
I
care
still
what
have
you're saying.
negative people and I go, but it's a choice. but
Yeah.
it's a choice. What choice are you making right now?
Yeah.
So I help people work through it. And you know what? In all honesty, I went through that with my father. My
Mm.
father was, not doing very well, and he chose to always be negative. And I remember saying to him, like, Dad, for just one call, could you just like say something nice?
Did he ever?
And he stopped. Yeah, he
Oh
stopped in his
wow.
tracks and he laughed. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No, I'm just listening to you."
Oh wow.
And then the next time he called,
Mhm.
it wasn't negative. It was, "How are you? How is your day going? How is work?" So,
And then he got negative. I'm just
no,
kidding. No,
not
he just
right
stayed.
away. Like it stayed. And then, of
Yeah.
course, because we always revert back to where we feel we are comfortable.
Right. That too, eh?
So
Yeah.
there are people that are comfortable with being negative, and
Yeah.
I don't know the reasons why everybody's always negative. I always try and find out, like, when you go to a store and somebody's like rude, or the cashier is rude, and I go, "Tell me how your day's going." So I
Yeah.
always try and turn that around,
Mhm.
and not make it about me, but make it about them,
Yeah. Makes sense.
right? And I say, I get angry is because I honestly feel it's a choice. And
Yeah.
I honestly feel that we all go through trials and tribulations and all of those things, but just ask
Mhm.
for help,
Okay. Some
ask
people
for help
because
and
it's
see how
it's
we
like
can
the
help.
okay, but it's like a way of life for some people because I think of negative people in two buckets. Those people who are always negative themselves, and
Yes.
then those people, and then also those people I think who are always around negativity and let it come in. So, like, let's deal with the two sets. I'm not even sure if I
Sure.
made a clear distinction, but what if let's
Mhm.
start with the most basic one. You are always around negative people. There, you grew up in that environment. The whole family was negative about you in particular. You moved to work, it's the same thing. What are some of the strategies for that person? Like, there's no other environment, there's no alternative as far as they know. And now they're perhaps just browsing and they hear this talk and recognize, hey, if I just simply check the five people around me, I will recognize I'm surrounded by negativity. So what happens then?
Wow. I'm smiling because I finished reading a book by Ryan Leake,
Mm.
How to Work with Complicated People.
Oh, that's a lovely book, eh? That
And
actually sounds like a lovely book, what I'm saying.
amazing.
Yeah. Is it?
And
Okay.
we're all complicated.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're all complicated. We have different things, but going back to your question, if you're surrounded by that all the time,
Mm.
so and you start feeling, because I always have a saying, and it wasn't my saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
you're negative, you exude negativity no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, people pick that up. I
Yep.
worked in a place once where, to your point, where it was so negative, and one morning I said to somebody, "Good morning," and she turned around and she's like, "What's so good about it?"
Oh,
And I
geez.
said, "The fact that you're alive, the fact that you can talk, the fact that you have a job, the
Oh,
fact that you're still living."
did
And then
that
I
work?
chose, like, I'm not
Janet,
picking that up. I'm not
I mean,
picking that
you
up.
chose not to pick that up, right? Chose to stay negative, right? That's what you were talking
Absolutely.
about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes we can't confront people because it's a sensitive thing to do. And especially if you don't know them,
Yeah.
but you can reach out to that person and say, "How can I make your day better?"
Yeah. That means you have to care enough, eh? Like, you do
You
have to
have
care
to.
enough.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's like serving others. Is I want to improve others before I want to improve myself, because I have the gift of being able to relate to people and being able to see, seeing, I can spot anger a mile away,
Right.
right? And being able to help. And sometimes, listen, I've gone through racism where
I was
people have
about to bring that up.
outright said to me, like, "I would never let you touch me or never let you help me." And I
Okay.
look at them and I go, "I forgive you.
Mm.
Not my problem. Walk away."
Yeah, walk away. Okay, so let's talk about that. That's other bucket when the negativity is kind of turned towards you.
Hmm.
I don't I have no answers there. Because be as negative as you want to. If it's directed at me, I don't. My response might not be like the coach response. I'm sorry. I might need to
Yeah,
get coached there as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
But
You
what do
know,
you do when, as you said, well, you gave us one example But then, especially like I don't know if you do, but a lot of the women I coach, like the executive women, whatever, they're the kinds of women that people love to hate. You know how if
Mm,
somebody's doing well, they're pretty and they're moving up in life, everybody immediately thinks, oh, you need to tear this person down. So, a lot of we all know people like that who get,
absolutely.
yes, a lot
Absolutely.
of the hate, a lot of the
Experienced
negativity.
it.
Yeah, let's talk
Mhm.
about that.
You know, that's a deep question. And the reason why I say that's a deep question is because I've experienced that myself as
For
well.
sure. Yeah.
And, your upbringing, your faith,
Hmm.
in my perspective, is what will always continue to help you.
Mm,
Um, Again, I always choose to forgive. I always choose to forgive. Like I just say my mentally in my head, I'm going like, you know what? I forgive you.
yeah.
I forgive you because I'm not going to confront, because I'm not going to change that mindset that you already have about me. And at the end of the day, how somebody else feels about you, Lisa,
Is their
none of your
problem.
business.
Yeah, it's not
It's
my business.
none
Like
of your
you,
business,
exactly.
right? And
Yeah,
we have
you're
to
right.
learn. We have to learn to grow through that. It's not easy. It's
Mm-mm.
not easy. But as you continue to have that growth mindset,
Mm-hmm.
you know that not everybody is going to be for you. And that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely okay. Mm-hmm.
And for someone that is facing that right now, believe in who you are. You are here on purpose for a purpose. You may not figure out what that is right now, but
Mm-hmm.
you are. And having other people pull on you as you continue to rise is not for you. That's against you.
Exactly. So you need to get away. Like get away from those
Surround
toxic.
yourself with positive people. Like
Yes,
move on to
around.
other people that are going to lift you up
Yeah. And
as opposed to tear you down.
mhm. On that note, Janet, I was reading some. I think it was Alex Hormozy. You know that this guy, like with the guy with the he has a breathing thing on his nose.
Okay, yes.
Anyway, so he's pretty good with sales, personal development, a whole bunch of like execution of life. And he was saying the other day the true test of, a friend, for example,
Mhm,
is
mhm.
how that person reacts when you win, not just when you lose. And I found that to be so true. Like that's one of the tests that you put out there for people in your life. Okay, and how do you handle my success? Because you'll see the pauses, you'll see the silences, or the absolute like eruption into just congratulations and meaning it. Like, what has
Yes.
been your experience, and what kind of advice do we give to, people listening
Yeah, that's
about
amazing. That's,
that?
what I posted on LinkedIn in
Mm.
June that I had started a new business.
Oh, hmm,
And that's, the amount of like, I'm sorry, I was blown away. And to anybody that's watching that, was one of those people that just lifted me up and cheered and said great things. I honor
mhm,
you. I
yeah,
honor you because it's scary when you first start all over again. And I one thing I had, Lisa, was I was already a speaker. So I
right.
did many speaking, very, very good opportunities in Edmonton prior to. But
Okay.
then
Mm,
fast forward 20 years, right? And you're starting all over again. And you're like, oh my gosh, what if I fail? What if I don't succeed? But I've surrounded myself with, like, I have a speaking coach, I have a business coach,
mm.
I have a coach, right? Mentor, right? All of these people that are mentoring me as well.
Right.
But to start all over again, you never know. But the point that you raised was when you tell someone what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
if they cheerlead you, right? They're your cheerleader and they're lifting you up and they're doing everything that they can do to help you. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
people that go, well, it's not going to work. You're not going to do bye bye.
Yeah. They're
That's what
silencing.
happens when you grow. We
Uh,
can't expect other people around us to grow at the same level or at all.
yeah, for
And
sure.
we can't criticize them for that. And we can't judge them for that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't want to grow. But when you grow and you've got people cheerleading you and you're sharing the stories of something magnificent that just happened in your life, and they're like, that's nice, right?
Mm,
Move on. Go
mm,
tell somebody else who's going to support you. And I think that's
exactly.
one of the biggest things. Like, I know I'm gonna, Sharita.
Yes.
Sharita's like, oh my God, you have to meet Lisa, right? And she probably said the same thing to you,
Yes,
and
you
you haven't even
did.
done it. Like,
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Both you and her mom as well, who's your
yeah, my
sister,
sister
right?
Grace.
Your
Yes,
sister Grace,
yes.
right? So when she first did my makeup, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you need to meet my mom as well. My mom is into like fitness and
Fitness. Yeah.
everything." And so sad we've really clicked as well. So yeah, you guys are amazing family.
But thank you so much for
Oh,
saying that. But I truly believe it's each one teach one.
yeah, I think
That's my
so.
philosophy when I was in the corporate world. That's my
Yeah.
philosophy right now, right? We all have gifts and we can share those gifts to help other people.
Mhm.
And, I think there was a question that you asked me, like, how do you know, what is how to choose a coach, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And when I look at that is people go by what they hear and what they see.
Yes. Uh-huh. For
And
sure.
if they have an opportunity to hear you and feel like this person is speaking to me, that's how I don't just go out and willy-nilly go, oh, you know what? I do coaching. Come and let me coach you. It's not about that. It's
Mm,
about, being able to serve someone that is in need of help, that within your heart that you're able to take them to their next level.
never. Exactly.
And, I think living life
Mm-hmm.
and growing in life, right, as opposed to
Oh my
through your life is the most important thing. We
God.
were all born for greatness, and we were all born to do something that sometimes we go through 50 years of our life and never know. I've
Yeah.
been blessed that I've known, ask my mother from the day I was born.
Mm.
I knew, right? And
Okay.
to be able to do that, but it's a gift. I
Mhm.
feel that I was so blessed in the journey that I had with working at I only had
Shoppers?
two
Yeah.
jobs.
Oh,
One
was it?
was, yeah,
Oh,
I've only had two jobs in my life,
that was
right?
shoppers,
So,
and which
and
was the other
Shoppers was
one?
the biggest amount of
Yeah.
time that I had,
Uh-huh.
where I grew so much, and I
Mm-hmm.
had so many different people mentoring me and lifting me up and helping me get to the next level. But
Yeah.
along the way, I never forgot who I was, and I
Mm.
never forgot about people. Right. I never looked at levels. I never looked at anything like that. I was just, and anybody can attest to that. Like I always said, I'm no different than you.
Mm.
I just chose to do it, chose to go on a different path.
Right, exactly. And talking about that, connected to the question, a question many minutes earlier about, do you have to live something for you to be able to coach it? So you could be. I remember my coach speaking about her being in a terrible relationship and having to coach some of her clients through bad relationships. And you just simply had to do it because that's what you do as a coach. I don't have to be able to experience what you're going through for me to be able to help you get the breakthrough that you came for.
Hmm.
There's some things I think that are more intuitive than others, but at
Yes.
the end of the day, I think like if you take this whole coaching, um, take it seriously, you will learn the tools to be able to help anybody, no matter what their situation. I'm not sure what you think about that, but that's how I see it. Like you can help people, you have the skills to help anybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those skills don't develop just like a one time and done. It
Yeah.
is continuously every single day,
Mm,
right? And for me, it was always about how can I show up better than the day before
yeah.
for this person,
Yes.
right? How can I improve on what I'm already doing? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever said, "Oh, I'm it now. I've got it. I'm everything that I need to." Oh, heck
No,
no.
that's the day
No,
we
no, no,
stop
no, no,
being
no, no.
coaches, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no
Mhm.
ego involved in this at all.
Yeah,
It's for me, it's serving,
exactly.
right? In 2 weeks, I'm
Hmm.
going to Argentina where I'm going with the
Yes.
John Maxwell team
Oh,
for a
wow.
transformation trip. And
Yes.
not about me, not
Right.
about me. It's
Oh, my
about the people that we are going to help transform, and being
God.
able to look at leadership,
Mm-hmm.
attitude, what we can do to help them.
Mm.
Right. And I think that's so, so, so important.
That's
Right.
awesome.
And it's also for me, an opportunity to be able to give back,
Mm.
right? All the knowledge and everything that I've had in now being able to be in a group setting to help people, I think is unbelievable. I'm just so grateful for that
Oh
opportunity.
my goodness. Wow. So you're actually on the leadership team for John Maxwell, is that it?
So there's a whole bunch of us. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's 150 of us going.
Oh,
And
wow.
John, we just found out that John Maxwell is going to be there, and
Oh,
my mentors are
nice.
going to be there. I
Mhm.
just I'm excited. I'm excited for this
Great.
journey to be
Yeah.
able to be a part of that, and then be
Mhm.
able to come back and share,
Mhm.
the nuggets that I will pick up from being there,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
I think is going to
absolutely.
be absolutely amazing.
And
Mhm.
not to mention, Janet, that looks very good on the resume.
Yeah, but
Oh my goodness, yes. You know what I mean?
the reason for that for me, I mean, we all have different reasons why we want to go on transformation trips. And I was involved years ago with a group, Epsom Kulu, and we were, I was on one of the on the board, and we were helping a whole community survive, right?
Mhm.
Immunization, naturalization, making sure that we taught them how to fish,
Ooh.
right? And two of the ladies, I had the honor of supporting two of the ladies,
Mhm.
that were living there, and they were
Mhm.
doing nursing. So they came over here to do nursing. A whole bunch of them came over, and they
Sorry, where
went
was
back.
that community? Where was that
Edzim
community?
Kulu in
Oh,
Africa.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they said, I remember them saying to me, Janet, please, please, please come and visit.
Yeah.
And by the time I was ready to go and visit, they were no longer here, right? They'd passed,
Oh,
right? And I always said, you know what? If I didn't get there, I've got to go somewhere else. And then this opportunity came up, and I took it right away. Didn't even
exactly.
question it. I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to do this, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I
That's
didn't want
awesome.
to, not experience what that could look like.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
great. All the best on that trip.
Thank
Take lots
you.
of
Thank
pictures
you.
and all the things that we do. So, last question. This one is you take it however you
Yeah.
wish to answer it, right? Because it could go either way. And here's the last question that I put that you already have, you've already read. If you knew that you would be successful at anything you did, what would the next 12 months look like for you?
I love this question. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
powerful. It's
It is, and
so
dangerous too. Is
powerful.
a dangerous question. Yeah, it's a
But
dangerous
it's
question.
it's a good one, because that's a whole part about growth. Is It's not just here. It's where do you want to be a month from now? Where do you want to be? And to your question, 12 months from now, I want to be
Mhm.
speaking all over the world.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay.
And it's happening already. It's already happening, right? And that's what I set for myself in March. I want to be an international speaker all over the world. I want an opportunity to be able to touch people's lives in a way that it matters to them, that is
Yeah.
not about me.
Right.
And not only that, I also want to continue with my business of having coaching and working with different businesses, working with different executives from all levels,
Mhm.
and be able to just offer impact
Mhm.
to them, so that they can now do the same for other people. Again, teach one mentality, being able to uplift people and help them align themselves with their own purpose. We
Wow.
can't tell people what their purpose is. We
Mhm.
can only help them see what their purpose is. And to be able to do that, for me is something that I truly believe that I'm meant to do.
Mm.
And I also believe that you really and truly have to know yourself to grow yourself. I say to people all the time, I am a work in progress.
That's
Every
everybody.
day I learn something different. Every day I capture, from a book or from people that I've met or different mentors that I, come in line with. To
Mhm.
be able to be able to do that. I mean, sometimes I go on YouTube and I talk about different books that I've read. I
Yeah.
have masterminds that I help people understand growth. The
Mhm.
15 Valuable Laws of Growth from John Maxwell. That's another one that I hold masterminds with.
Oh, wow.
And again, not about me. It's about I facilitate it. But when you see people
It's
feel
so interesting.
comfortable in a space to
Mm.
be able to share their true selves, it's
Mm.
amazing.
It
Absolutely
absolutely is.
amazing.
Only talking of creating, well, holding space, as we all know, and creating
Yeah.
that container where people know that it's safe because they've told you what it means to be safe for them. I had that experience last night, and it blew my mind all over again. So I was doing my signature Speak with Confidence workshop. I'm doing it now in the city, going
Yeah.
out into youth groups and with organizations as well, just tailoring it to each level. And last night we were at a Seventh-day Adventist church,
Yeah,
doing
my
the
sister's
secret
church.
continents.
I
Yeah,
heard about it.
exactly. Grace. Yeah, exactly. What the thing? Exactly.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I'm never speechless. I always have words for days, as I like to say it. But when we opened up the circle for people to speak, and I said, okay, it's time. Like after they said something inspirational, everybody had something lovely, nice, and pleasant to say. Janet, the next question was, now you're gonna say something that people might not agree with. And that's when the truth began to come out.
Yes.
Our young people are really grappling with a lot, number one. And number two, one in this city, it seems like one of the biggest issues is race relations. I'm telling
Mm,
you, like a lot
mm.
of the anger that came out and the confusion and just what they are facing, like it forced me to take a step back and to be like, okay, Lisa, what are you even doing? How is speaking supposed to solve this? What is the next step? Because just one night of truth and my little brain is overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, what exactly is happening here? But again, when you hold space for people and you open up those pockets of truth and safe spaces for them to deposit their things into in a healthy way,
Yeah.
you sometimes get more questions than
Yes.
answers. And I think, like, I saw that last night. Like, I'm not even sure how we got here, Janet, but like in our whole conversation just about being a facilitator of
Yeah.
truth, like it comes out. It's
Mm-hmm.
powerful,
Mm-hmm.
for
And
sure.
you're so right, and I honor
Ooh,
you for doing that. I completely understand where you're coming from.
mm,
We and this is just me, so
mm.
nobody get up all in my face about this. But
Yeah,
we neglect the youth when it comes to where those needs are and how do you help them navigate each day.
yeah.
I was in the same thing, different when I did Black History Month and I spoke at
Ugh,
schools this year. Oh my goodness, same thing, Lisa. So I hear what you're saying, right? I actually went to my car and cried after one school that I came from
yeah,
because I saw the need. This one girl said to me, "How do we get mentors? How do we get to be like you?" And it has resonated in my head ever since. And I keep saying, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I don't know what I can do yet. I
yeah.
know it's going to come to me, but
Hmm.
I feel that there's such an opportunity for guidance with our youth,
Yeah,
or giving them, you created a space for them last night to be able to talk. Now they need that bridge as to where do we go from here, because you impacted them with
yeah.
what you said, right? And I can see how you can say, like, is speaking enough? It's a start. It's
It's
a
a
start
start.
to
Yeah,
recognize what
yeah.
is necessary, what is needed,
I think
right,
so.
in our
And to
communities.
tell you, like, Janet, the way we got there was because I started with why do we speak? And so we went through you speak to inform, to persuade, to motivate, to be known as well. And
Yes,
when we opened up those definitions, then we just moved on to the application of having a mission when you speak. And so
yes,
they spoke their truth, and I'm not sure that we were all ready to hear it, but thank God, like I planned it so that we have a couple weeks together. So
yeah,
the program rolls out over 4 weeks. So
good for
oh,
you.
yeah, so I'm thinking of just what the next step is because they blew my mind and left me speechless last night. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess coaching does that to us too sometimes.
Of course, of course.
It does,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you would be speaking. If you had 12 months and you knew that, oh my goodness, anything you did, you would be successful. You'd just be just jet setting from place to place speaking. What would you be speaking about? What would be your
You
pet
know,
topics? This is so
I
interesting.
Yeah, because I try to align myself with the need that is there. So
Mm,
for example, if I'm at a women's group, right, I have stories, like we all have stories, but
mhm,
I have stories that will give people hope, will give people the opportunity to realize that I don't need to be stuck in this. I can move past this, right? And I think, one of the things that I'm involved with is a group in Calgary,
Yeah.
High Road Leaders, and there's it's called Live to Lead, which is a global development summit. This
Mhm.
simulcasted, and it's amazing. It's amazing for people to be able to come and see it. I'm going to be in Calgary on November the 21st. I'm going to be speaking there, and the same thing in January 16th. And what we do there is we'll have themes. So if the theme resonates with you,
Mhm.
come.
Yes,
Right. And the
exactly.
same thing when I'm traveling around the world, what I do right now, Lisa, is I look for different speaking, events that are going on if it resonates with me. So if they're saying that we need a speaker that will talk about, leadership,
Mm-hmm.
then I can speak to that. I
Yeah.
can speak to the stories that I have. So there's a number of stories that I have
Mm-hmm.
where you come from diversity and you roll through different challenges in life to be able to be where I am today and speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
But speak on that in a way that is authentic so that people, it's about them, it's not about me, right? So I'm not talking about, oh, I did this and I did that. No, 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 no. I'm speaking about what resonates with you, what resonates with that audience, so that it will have impact and they will have action when they leave. They'll take the action as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to, oh, okay, well, that was good, but it didn't resonate. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
won't do things that will not resonate with the actual audience. I always need to know, what does the audience want? Right? Before I even go into speaking about anything, because I think we're so used to just having all speakers before where everybody just went to go hear these speakers. Half the time they didn't even resonate with anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And you pay a lot of money to go to these things
Mhm.
sometimes. And if it's not going to serve you, then
What's
it's
the
not
point?
it's not the person in the audience fault, it's the speaker's fault.
Yeah, or the organizer even for
Right.
not, yeah, bringing in the right people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be
Janet,
able to do that.
you know what talking to you has been like? Talking to you has been like every question opened up another question. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Like this is amazing. Half the questions we discussed were not on our list, right?
That's right. That's right. None of this is
Oh my
scripted.
God!
And I
Oh my
appreciate, what? I appreciate that because
God! Wow.
we share a lot of truth when it comes to what impact we want to have in people's lives. And I think that is amazing to be able to have that. And I'm so grateful for the conversations and the questions that you asked me, because you're right. I had no idea, where this was going to go. And sometimes it navigates on a different purpose for a different reason. And
Absolutely.
we were able to, do that and share, even last night for what where you were,
Oh
to be able
yeah.
to know that it resonates with me, and it resonates with me because I, spoke to the youth in
Yeah,
February,
in
March,
February. Yeah. I think
and
anybody who's a practitioner, like
moved
coach,
me.
speaker, oh yeah. Then you saw February's over. Yes, you were relieved because it was busy, but I think then the work begins in terms of what's next and how do you
Yes.
continue the seed that you planted. That
Yeah.
I feel like that's a question we should all be asking. So here's the second thing. I'm just coming back like after a month break, doing this, and it's lovely speaking to another coach, number one, and
Thank
it
you.
makes you realize how much work there is for us coaches. That it's very true. I have this corny thing that comes from Rihanna's song "Shine Bright Like a Diamond," and I'm like, you know what? Shine bright like a diamond and just brighten your corner of the world. Nobody's asking you to go out and save the entire world, but my God, bloom where you planted. There's work to be done in your backyard and in your circle, in your tribe. Like who you would appeal to would not be
Yes.
my clients, and vice versa. So why don't we look and like stay where you are in terms of influence, what you can do, because there is work to be done in your patch. That kind of
Yeah.
it just makes you
Absolutely.
realize how many people need help and how much coaching is an answer for so many people. It does help you to get unstuck. I've experienced it, and I'm sure you have too, which is why we said we became coaches in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think, again, going back to brand new coaches or people that are trying to figure out, where they are in their lives right now,
Mhm.
is trust the
Yeah.
process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trust the process, right? Ask for help. Go to people like Lisa, I reach out to coaches everywhere, all the time, all over the world,
Okay.
right? I
Yeah,
mean, because it enriches your life.
it
It
does.
enriches your life. And, with me being with Maxwell, and this is not a Maxwell plug, but honest to
Mm,
God, right? This
good.
community is incredible,
Seriously.
right? People that I graduated with in March, I'm still
Mm.
in touch with. People that I do workshops with, I'm still in touch with. We make sure that we lift each other up
Oh,
and
wow.
have different, sometimes you've got different things that come up that you have no idea how to answer it, to your point, as you alluded earlier. What
Hmm.
do you do?
Mm.
Right? I got
Find
my
the coach.
team,
Yeah.
right? I got my team. I go back to my team. We have
Mhm.
discussions. And I mentioned that I teach, I should say I host, I
Mhm.
facilitate masterminds. But
Yeah.
guess what? I'm
Mhm.
involved in masterminds.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you
I
have to. And
coach. Guess
yeah,
what? I'm being coached. I have a
coach
coach mentor. I have mentors for everything that I do because I believe in the mentee mentorship program,
um, and process.
right? And
Absolutely.
that's how you grow,
Yeah.
right? And if you're, somebody said the other day, if you're in the top of the class, you're in the wrong class,
Wrong. Yeah. Wrong room. Wrong
right?
room.
Because you're not. How are you growing? How are you growing?
Exactly. And again, like I've done a mastermind and it has taught me to use that word wisely. A lot of people bandy the word around the same way they bandy around keynote speaker, that kind of thing. But like when you're in the business, you realize what it really, really means. That
Yes.
it's a group of people who come together and they're going to mastermind. They are masters is what they do. So they bring that expertise to bear on everybody's situation. That's what it's about. And I guess too, that's why it's important, number one, and perhaps very expensive sometimes to put a mastermind together. That's what I'm finding. Oh my goodness, here we are. Like just a couple more minutes. This has been amazing. I was gonna ask
Absolutely.
you
Thank you
something.
so
Oh
much.
my goodness.
I
Yeah.
love,
The
I love
vibe.
just you're right, the
Yeah.
vibe and being able to just share. And, it's always in hopes of, if somebody hears these conversations,
Yeah.
that there may be one thing that they can take away that'll
Yeah.
have an impact in their life.
Yeah,
And if that,
exactly.
if that has happened, Lisa, then we've done
Mhm.
our job.
Yes, for sure. I'm sure we have. So let's put up your where people can go find you. I know you do have a website because I
Yes, I
emailed
do.
you.
Yes. Yes.
janetjames.ca, is it?
That's it. Yes.
janetjames.ca.
JanetJames.ca or Janet James Growth Leadership. Either one will take
Okay.
you to my site. And this is where, like I said, I will offer different programs that are available. And at the end of the day, if we have the opportunity to live our lives better, why
Absolutely.
would you not do it? Why
Yeah.
would you not take it? Why would you not educate yourself? Why would you not take a course? Why would you not join a group? Why would you not be involved?
Why
Period.
would you stay stuck? Like, why
Exactly.
would you stay stuck when
Exactly.
there are options for getting unstuck, basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
100%.
I think so. And how I said in one of the questions very quickly, like all of us coaches are saying, yes, we'll help you get unstuck. Basically, that's a basic message to move you from point A to point B. And what
Yes.
I think makes the difference, why there's work for everybody, is because that process is different and
Hmm.
how you feel going through the process is different, and perhaps even the results at the end can also be different, so that people choose based on all of these factors. So there is work to be done. If
Yes.
you are stuck, please get a coach. It really does change your life. All
I
right.
agree. I agree. Thank you so
So
much, Lisa.
most welcome, third person in your family on my show. Do you know Grace? Your sister has been on my program too. Grace she was jet setting in St. Lucia, and
Oh, okay. I
very
didn't know
maybe
that.
about
Yeah.
22 or 23. She was
Yeah.
also on the program. Then Sharita, and now you. So it's a family thing.
Yeah, we're all in the family. We're all, you know what? And I think, we're all about growth. We've always been. We help each other, we
Yes,
push each other, we honor each other, and the support is unbelievable. My family is behind me 100% all the
that's
time, cheerleading
lovely.
me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You guys are beautiful and not like snobbish with it. That's what I like. Like every
Aw,
single one of
thank
you
you.
gorgeous, gorgeous women and just down to earth, lovely people. So that's
Thank
great.
you so much. Yeah, appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much for being so gracious. Nobody knows what went on behind the scenes, but she's such a lovely and patient person. I have to say thank you for
Oh,
being here and making it
you're
happen.
amazing.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Most welcome. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this call. I'm out for today with my guest, Janet James. She's an executive coach doing lots of great things here in the city in Edmonton and also in Winnipeg. So,
Yes, also in
yes,
Winnipeg.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Lots of programs. Check out her website, janetjames.ca. Okay. All right. Have a great Sunday, everybody. And I'll see you
Thank
next.
you. Happy Sunday, everyone. Bye
Happy
bye.
Sunday. Okay. Janet, just stay on for a little.